FC Zurich 1, Arsenal 2. Yes, people, football and Arsenal kick off their Europa League campaign with a victory away from home, but we made it much tougher work than it should have been. As always, let me know your thoughts of the match in the comment section down below. And this is my Arsenal review, as I do after every single Arsenal match. So yeah, as I said, we made it tougher work than we had to. Overall, I think we played a decent game, but it just shows we need a little more clinicality in the squad, because Zurich did make a comeback, well, ready to make it 1-1, and they could have made it 2-2 at times, but I did feel in control of the game at all moments. The game started actually with Arsenal being a bit rusty. I kind of expected it. A lot of the players that did play haven't played a lot this season. It was a lot of the rotated team, but within about 5-10 minutes we shook that off and really started to get in control of the football, and we got our first goal around that mark when Fabio Vieira played a beautiful ball round the corner to Nketiah. Nketiah squared it, and who's on the scene? Our new signing Marquinhos to side foot it into the top corner. Beautiful goal for him, and I felt for him as well, man. He dropped down on his knees, let out a little tear after his first professional goal for Arsenal Football Club. What a moment. So happy for him, and he looked good overall this game as well. Then we continued to go on the press, continue to dominate the ball, but then we give away a silly penalty right at the end of the half. Eddie Nketiah goes to kick at the ball, but then the Zurich player, really streetwise, he just gets ahead of Nketiah, so Nketiah went through the back of him. It was then a penalty. Debatable, but at the end of the day, the ref gave it. They step up and they score. Matt Turner dived about 4 minutes before the penalty was taken, in my eyes. So, I don't know what he was thinking, but easily dispatched, and that made it 1-1, and then we had to go again to try and find another goal. Going out into the second half, though, we were comfortable. We kept knocking at the door, and we eventually did get it. Marquinhos this time setting up Nketiah, so roles reversed from the first goal. Brilliant ball in from Marquinhos from the right hand side, whipped it in with his left foot, and then Nketiah on the scene to head it down into the ground and past the keeper to make it 2-1. And then we brought in a few subs, a few actually good names, and the team that ended that game was probably, especially the attacking players, the best lineup we've got, our starting 11 basically, but we couldn't quite extend our lead, and it ended 2-1 to the Arsenal. But at the end of the day, the 3 points are exactly what matters and exactly what the doctor ordered. Overall, this game, of course, as it is with Europa League in the group stage, is just about the points, to be honest. We just want to get through this Europa League group stage unscathed. If we can win our first 3 or 4 games, that will be absolutely perfect, because then we don't have to worry about playing our starters for the final 2 fixtures, and we start that off really well here with a win. We go into the Everton game. That's what I'm really keeping my eyes on now, because that game, I believe, will be a massive one. One thing about the Europa League, though, is there's going to be a lot of fixture congestion. It's 6 games in 8 weeks. But it might actually do us well in terms of being a circuit breaker. Last season, when Arsenal lost their games against United, they followed it up with a loss against Everton. When we lost to Spurs, we followed it up with a loss against Newcastle, Palace, Brighton, Southampton, etc. So maybe these Europa League games can let us have a little bit of like a fixture midweek to kind of just like a fight back after we lost our game, have the players shake it off a little bit, have like a kind of get back match, and then we can go into the weekend fresh of hopefully a win in midweek. So I hope this Europa League game gave us that to try and just shake off the bad performance from the weekend against Man United. Not necessarily the bad performance, but the bad result, if anything. So then we can go into the Everton game fresh and try and hopefully strive for another 3 points in that league. In terms of this game itself, was there any players that stood out to me? Marquinhos today definitely did. He looks like a Martinelli 2.0. He was really good on that right hand side, really skillful and direct, and his crosses were on point. He had a couple great ones. In the first half, he had one to Martinelli that he really should have done better, and in the second half, it was a beautiful one over to Nketiah, who did end up scoring for me. So that was a really good sign from Marquinhos, given that he's definitely, out of the players that started there, he was definitely one of like the weaker, in terms of that we weren't expecting a lot of him. He was meant to be an under 21 player that got fast tracked to the first team, kind of like Martinelli did when he first arrived on the scene. So I was really impressed with Marquinhos, and I have a lot of faith in him going forward, and I can see him definitely starting a lot of the Europa League, Carabao Cup and FA Cup matches for this football club. Let's talk about Fabio Vieira. For me, he had a mixed game. He started off with a horrible free kick where he just kind of passed it and just gave it away to the Zurich players. And he was here and there today. I don't think he was anything amazing. I don't think it was really a great audition if he wants to start in the Premier League, because for me, he didn't do enough to quite get into that team against Everton, as it probably was an audition for a lot of these players. But he was here and there. He's alright. It was still it's still his second appearance for Arsenal, so I'm not going to judge him too harshly. But yeah, he's going to be playing a lot. He's going to be playing every week with these Europa League fixtures, so he'll definitely get a lot of time in this Arsenal shirt, but I don't think he's quite ready to start in the Premier League. In terms of the other ones, Holding did his job today. Still wouldn't start for me. Saliba definitely gets ahead of him in the Premier League. Tomiyasu the same, did well. I think it's a toss-up between him and Ben White, to be honest. They're both real good right-backs. Tierney as well, did okay as well, but I'd still start Zinchenko in the Premier League. So none of these players that played today, I think, should definitely get a start in the Premier League. Nketiah did score today and got an assist as well, but I still think Gabriel Jesus should start. So overall, a decent performance from a lot of these players, but there wasn't one player where I'd think, right, they definitely have forced themselves into the Premier League team come Sunday. Because although they were all good, there was no one that really stood apart and shined for me to the point where I thought, right, they're undroppable now. Although I do saying that, Marquinhos and Nketiah had good games. Let's get into the player ratings now. In goal, Matt Turner. I'm going to give him a 5, to be honest. He was shaky to start the game. And with the penalty, look, I know it's a penalty, not like it's not really got a good odds for the keeper to save it. But still, I felt he committed himself and dived way too early on it. I'm just not really hopeful of Matt Turner, man. From what I've seen so far of him, it's not a big sample size, but he does worry me. I definitely do not want to see Aaron Ramsdale have time out. Because I think if we have Matt Turner, it could be a bit of an L, especially because his feet aren't the best in terms of passing out from the back. So yeah, 5 for Matt Turner. Tomiyasu, I thought had a decent game, to be honest. He didn't do as much going forward as I thought he would. He did some like glimpses, but it was mostly just his defending, his aerial height. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. In terms of centre backs, Rob Holding and Gabriel, I'm both going to give them a 6 as well. They cleaned up what they needed to. There was at times when they got in behind Zurich, and I was like, bloody hell, yeah, how are we letting them get in behind so easy? And had a couple of good chances, but overall our defending wasn't horrible. We didn't keep a clean sheet, so I can't really give it a high rating. And at times they did get in behind us. Tierney next door, I'm going to give him a slightly higher in a 7. He made a crucial block in the first half to stop FC Zurich. That was game-changing block right there. And always committing forward, just didn't quite have the end product for me. Let's move into the midfield. Lokonga had another solid game. With the ball, he's good. Without the ball, I have my questions and my queries because he doesn't seem to provide enough defensive cover for me. Other than that, though, I thought he had another decent game, Lokonga. Let's see if Partey's fit for the weekend, because if he is, Partey comes straight in though, regardless, let's be completely honest with it. But I'll give him a 7. Moving to the other midfielder, Granit Xhaka had another brilliant game. This man is the machine. He just seems to play every fixture, given the captain's armband as well today. And I thought had a really good game overall. I'm going to give Xhaka an 8 out of 10. Moving forward to Vieira, I'm going to give Vieira a 6. Not his greatest game, to be honest. He was here and there, just didn't impose himself as much as I would have liked him to be honest. But I still can't put too much shade on him, Vieira, because it is only his second game and his first start for the football club. Let's move into the front three. Starting with Marquinhos. I'm going to give Marquinhos an 8 out of 10. Goal and assist, brilliant. Couple of nice crosses as well in there. But also I feel like when he needs to do more as well as that. I know I'm asking for a lot, but the thing is, whenever he got the ball, he was impactful. He should have had the ball more. Like, we weren't giving the ball enough to him. Every time the geezer had the ball, he was making something happen with it. So yeah, but overall, 8 out of 10 for Marquinhos. He did get slung off after only playing for 2/3 of the match. So I can't give him like a 9 or a 10. Because if he played for that full match, he would have been odds on for one of those two ratings. Martin, the other side, yeah, he was alright, to be honest. Had a couple of snapshots that was easily saved or over the bar or just wide. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I definitely think Marquinhos was better on this occasion. But we all know Martinelli's quality. He's proved it in the Premier League already with 3 goals and a 4th if you count the one against United that got chalked off. And then up front, Eddie Nketiah, I'm also going to give an 8 out of 10 to, along with Marquinhos. Goal and assist for Eddie as well. And he scored a crucial goal for us in that second half when we were building momentum. In terms of subs, Ødegaard, Saka and Zinchenko came on at once. Saka looked good. He looked really lively when he came on, taking a lot of players on. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I think Zinchenko didn't really do much as well as Ødegaard in terms of like impacting a lot. I'm going to give both of them a 6. And then of course the other sub, Gabriel Jesus, didn't really have much time to do anything, so I'm not really going to rate him. But overall, Arsenal leave Zurich with a 2-1 victory to kick off their Europa League campaign. It's exactly what we needed. It was only 2-1. We could have hoped for a little bit more, especially when I saw we had a strong but rotated lineup out. Let me know your thoughts of the game in the comment section down below. And if you're new around and you love Arsenal-related content, make sure you subscribe down below. I've been YFootball and I hope to see you lot in the next video.